Hi everybody and welcome to the newest episode of Day Johnson versus the Marvel Universe. I'm going to be looking at comics due out Wednesday the 29th of April 2015. I'm picking 4 of my favourite books from this week. The first comic I'm going to look at is All New Captain America number 6. I'll start by saying how much I love Stuart Immonen's art on this title. I like the way he's refined the design of the new Captain America, gone of the circular shades, and we've got more angular sunglasses that kind of look reminiscent of the Falcon in the Winter Soldier movie. I also like how he's refined the Baron Zemo costume and he's redesigned Batrock's costume, giving them more contemporary looks. Stuart is definitely one of my favourite artists in comics right now. This week's issue fantastically brings the first story arc to a close. In the end of the last issue we are left on a cliffhanger in which Cap's bird Redwing was killed by Baron Blood, who was then flying to an optimum height to set off a bomb that would sterilize all non-Hydra agents on planet Earth. So the stakes are high, and this issue shows us why on a personal level this is a big deal to Sam. Later in his battle with Baron Zemo, despite something truly gut-wrenching happening, Sam really demonstrates and steps up to the mantle of Captain America and shows why he really deserves to be the new Captain America. Sam's sidekick and the son of Steve Rogers, Ian, or as he's taken the codename Nomad now, he shows why he's a force to be reckoned with as well. He takes on Baron Zemo, who's the mastermind of this whole first story arc. I won't tell you what happens, but the story pans out nicely, while leaving interesting threads we can pick up later on upcoming story arcs. I would definitely recommend reading this story. If you've been reading it as single issues, this is a fantastic final issue to the arc, and if not, make sure you pick up the trade when that comes out. A must-read title. I'll start the trinity of final issues with Fantastic Four number 645. The lead up to this end issue, while being good, had me feeling a little bit like it was going to be anticlimactic. They've been using new or low-level villains, and I kind of felt like Marvel were going to job off the Fox-owned, or at least in the movie universe, they were going to job off the Fox-owned title to make a point. However, I was happy to be proven wrong here. This book seems to be set a few months before Jonathan Hickman's Avengers stories really started to ramp up and the Illuminati had to go into hiding. And that explains, amongst other things, Reed's lack of beard in this book. We also see some interesting metaphorical mental chess between Reed Richards and the main villain and saboteur of the Fantastic Four, the Quiet Man. And this really feels like some classic Fantastic Four storytelling. A giant-sized Psycho Man controlling the Heroes Reborn Universe Avengers battles the other members of the Fantastic Four family, as well as the Avengers from the 616 universe. It's drawn by Leonard Kirk, who feels like he's challenging the classic work now of Mark Bagley. We see a lot of dynamic action and cool fight scenes, and the appearance of a few of the classic Fantastic Four villains works nicely for this last issue. This book concludes nicely and feels like it's paid homage to the history of the team, and I would recommend reading this or picking this book up if you've ever really been a fan of the Fantastic Four. There's also a few short stories included at the back of the book. The last one, written by Jeff Parker, is my favourite. That concentrates on Reed and his daughter Valeria, and he's trying to show her to appreciate the simple things in life. Next up is the final issue of New Avengers, issue number 33. After the shocking reveal of last month's issue that Doom has been Rabum Alal, the Great Destroyer, this issue is all about his journey of how he became the head of a cosmic religion. We follow Molecule Man, Doctor Doom, and Doctor Strange, who's also now the head of his own cosmic faction, on a trip down memory lane. Firstly, we see how Doom was given the idea to start a religion and who put that idea there in the first place. It's interesting to see the ordinarily cocky Doom showing doubt. He understands and he realises the level of threat that the Beyonders pose. It's also fantastic to see how this whole thread is unravelled and explained to us. It's really difficult to say much about this issue without spoiling it. So I'll say that we do see Doom stumble across what may be an integral weakness to the seemingly unstoppable adult Beyonders. It's awesome to see. The issue ends rather abruptly in true Jonathan Hickman fashion and leaves you eager for the first issue of Secret Wars. Luckily, that is only 1 week away. Finally, I'm going to look at Avengers number 44. This is the final issue of Jonathan Hickman's colossal run on Avengers. The issue starts with a flashback. This sees Tony Stark. It's set during the time that Tony was on the run from old man Steve Rogers' team of Avengers. It sees the two share a tense, yet more friendly conversation than I thought I would have seen between the two. This is before it flashes to the present, where in the end of the last issue we are left with a galactic fleet of various cosmic species on the way to destroy the Earth, having realised that all of the universal problems they've had lately seem to have emanated from there. Luckily, Tony's been freed by his former friends on the Avengers to, as the saying goes, go out swinging. Tony's secretly been working on a weapon of unimaginable might, which is Earth's only chance of stopping this invading fleet. The artwork's amazing. The facial expressions that Caselli draws really capture Tony Stark's attitude and his arrogance. Really, really good. We also see what's going on in the Ultimate Universe, which is on its way to collide with the 616 universe in an all-out one lives, one dies brawl. It's interesting to see how the people who run and who are in charge of the citizens on each Earth, how they decide to deal with informing the public about their impending doom, should they. On Earth 616 we see an intense discussion with the Black Panther and the US President, which is really satisfying to read. You can sense the frustration in the room. The discussion which has taken place on Earth 616 amongst the now unified Avengers is interesting too, as they're trying to decide who gets a place on the Ark, which is able to survive the multiversal destruction that's about to happen. These are the people who have got to repopulate the Earth if the worst should happen. Steve's views on the Illuminati are especially intriguing, and it makes the scene makes this whole book a must read. Like New Avengers, the book ends as though it's leading directly into the first issue of Secret Wars. As the cover to this issue suggests, we end up with a brawl for the ages between two of the big three of the Avengers. The fight is visceral. The world's ending. All the gloves are off. They're fighting to kill each other, and we just see what we're gonna see in Secret Wars. I won't tell you exactly what that is, but there is that issue. There's literally no way I could be more excited for Secret Wars after reading this book. Bring on next week. Okay, so that's it for this episode of Dave Johnson versus the Marvel Universe. I hope you enjoyed it. What comics are you picking up this week? Did you pick up the titles that I've looked at? Did you like them as much as I did? Please let me know below. Please like and share the video if you enjoyed it. Until next time, I'll see you next week.